Hi, my name is JD Wilder, and I'm going to be reading your tarot cards today. Welcome! So the way that I do things, I typically do a spread where the top card is your conscious mind, the bottom card is your subconscious mind, and then off to the side is an overall energy card, and then I will pull one additional card for advice from Spirit. I feel guided to pull from Once Upon a Time Tarot. Once Upon a Time Tarot. And we have the author here, Ilaria Fossey and Carol Ann Eshenazi. So, I hope you're doing well today. Welcome. So excited to have you here. Here we go. So your top cards is your conscious mind. The bottom card is your subconscious, your sleep state mind, what's hidden beneath the surface that's just dying to come out, and your overall energy, and an advice card. So, excuse me. Spirit guides of the highest truth and compassion. What is it that this beautiful collective of souls needs to hear today for the highest good? Let's see what happens. All right, so in your conscious mind, you've got the Ace of Swords. Got the Ace of Swords, and I will show you these in a second here. I just want to pull out the cards. I'm going to set one aside for advice. I usually look at that once I've dissected the spread with you. Okay. Got a lot of swords right off the bat here. Okay. So Ace of Swords in your conscious, Five of Swords in your unconscious, Queen of Swords is your overall energy. So hey, I kind of feel guided to start there. So your overall energy is the Queen of Swords. Aren't these fun cards? I love the art on them. I wonder if I can. There we go. So the Queen of Swords, when I think of the Queen of Swords, I think of an individual that is very strong in what they believe, and they're not afraid to share it. They're very decided in what they know and what they believe, and their personal power from speaking their truth. So this is someone, the overall energy is embodying the personality or the archetype of a sovereign individual who moves through the world speaking their truth for themselves and for the highest good of their community and for the highest good of the people in their lives that they touch, the people in their lives that they interact with. And on this card, this queen has these really beautiful iridescent wings. And she's seated on kind of it looks very kind of Grecian to me, like a Grecian throne, and they're in the clouds. And then this, the swords is usually with the element of air. So, and that brings me to like what's in your mind, and then also speaking what's in your mind, not filtering what's in your mind, speaking the truth. Okay. So in your conscious mind, it would appear that you've gained clarity, or there's a beginning. There's something that's just starting. Perhaps a new idea, perhaps a new vision. And a lot of the time, the way that I read is I look at the card to see if there's anything in particular that sticks out to me. And I'm really drawn to these roses right here. Roses could be a symbol for you. I know that they are a symbol for me. Unconditional love is usually what roses symbolize for me. There's some sirens in the background. I'm also drawn to the hilt of the sword and the wings. Like something is about to take flight, or freedom, the feeling of freedom. And these two fairies, so there's one fairy that's posed in a way like, ta-da, we did it, and the other fairy's like working hard to keep the crown up there. So maybe there's this idea or this thought that's in your head that's given you clarity, and it feels like it needs nurturing, and also it feels like it needs maintenance. There's some work that needs to be done in order to keep your crown, in order to keep your crown up, in order to keep your sovereignty and speaking from your truth. And it's interesting because your unconscious mind here is the Five of Swords. And so with the Five of Swords, you know, usually this card, it denotes maybe some conflict that's occurred, or and my screen is flashing, so that usually means that it's that's an alignment. What I just said is an alignment with what needs to be heard or what needs to be shared. So perhaps there's been conflict, or there's been a little bit of a battle or a scuffle, or I'm channeling like this wind here is like change. There's been this big sweeping change that has kind of created some disarray. So maybe not even necessarily like a physical battle or like aggressive confrontation, but perhaps it's just like naturally life has presented this change of events that has led to chaos or disarray. And, you know, this knight or this warrior, they have a little fairy here next to them, and, you know, their facial expression, it doesn't really appear to be very concerned. This warrior is, they know that they're working with divine forces. They're working with their intuition. They're working with spirit. They're working with universal consciousness. They're co-creating with something larger than themselves, and they don't feel worried. They don't seem worried about it, you know? So what I'm getting here, because there's so much sword energy, it's very, maybe you're really in your thoughts right now. Maybe you're really in your thoughts right now. Maybe there's a lot of change that's occurring or will occur, and you really want to stay in your sovereignty when it comes to speaking your truth. Like, I feel that that's non-negotiable now. Like, you know too much, you've gone too far, this is non-negotiable now. We can't go back, is what I'm hearing. We can't go back. And this change, it almost feels unexpected. It almost feels like it really wasn't something you were planning on, but it's going to lead to something better, is what I'm getting. And especially with, I think you're already seeing that too, because you're getting new ideas and you're getting a fresh perspective. And I just feel like there's freedom in this situation. Like, it wasn't what I was expecting. It kind of rocked me, but there's actually a lot of good that can come from this. So let's see what your advice card is, because this seems really self-explanatory to me. Oh, wow. Well, that's interesting. We got the King of Cups as your advice. This feels like very different. I mean, your whole spread is swords, right? Your whole spread is swords, and So I feel like your spread is what's happening for you. And this advice card, it almost feels like there's something in the mix, something different, separate from you. It could either be a different person, or it could be an organization, or it could be just something external outside of you. That's how it feels. But take it as it resonates. If that's not the case, if you feel it's talking about your internal emotional state, then that's what it's talking about. You know best. You know you best, and just flow with me here. So, the King of Cups. I'm going to actually read this King of Cups. I feel like I need to read it from here. So hold on one second. King of Cups. So we have all this air, and then all of a sudden we have some water, and that's the advice. Ooh, I just got a hit. So perhaps you're thinking too much in your head, and now it's time to embrace the heart. It's time to embrace the emotions. It's time to embrace some of the feelings with this new idea or this clarity. Perhaps it's time to even out the elements, so to speak. So, King of Cups. Find the perfect balance between a free flow of emotions and control over them. Accept and express what you are feeling with calm and wisdom. Your head and heart work in perfect unison, a great team indeed. That's interesting. Divinatory meaning. Advice from a mentor will prove to be very beneficial. You can totally rely on this person, probably a man, for support. Interesting. Okay. Well, like I said, it may not be like that for everybody, but I do feel there's a sense of you and someone else. Okay. So if that's the case, this is telling me that if someone approaches you to look at something differently, maybe don't shut them down right away. Maybe think through what they're saying. Make sure it aligns with your values, your integrity, and your truth, and proceed accordingly. And if not, then you make the best decision for you, right? But apart from that, if it is internal, this tells me perhaps get in touch more with your King of Cups energy. Balance out the air and the water. What's in your head and what's in your heart. I feel like there's something else that needs to be said, because let's see. I'm going to pull from this Dream Oracle cards by Kelly Sullivan Walden. So spirit guides, let's see. What is it? So let's see here. So we know that there's an idea. We know that there's been some conflict that's like rushing around in the subconscious mind. This is a collective of individuals where the overall energy desired is to be very sovereign in their truth, to be very decisive and take action from that way. And so this advice card of the King of Cups, what is it that they most need to hear related to this advice card for their highest good today, spirit guides? Thank you so much. I feel like this bottom one also wants to come out, so I'm going to set that. But this was interesting. Look at that. Dog. Be your own best friend. And my screen just went dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. So this dog card, it's talking about friendship. It's talking about, where is the book? Oh, found it. Okay. And then there was one other one here. Airplane. Spread your wings and fly. Which is funny because, like, I was talking about the hilt of this sword, and I was very drawn to the wings. Okay, so you have airplane. Airplane. Interesting. I don't know. These might be signs and synchronicities for you. Airplane. Is there any travel that's taking place at all that you know of related to clarity of an idea, related to perhaps some sort of a partnership, in work, or friendship, because we have this dog card as well. So let's read this really quick. All right. You may have become overly domesticated, trying to obey everyone's commands. Oh, wow. But you're no one's lapdog. Your loyalty is a gift that is given to only those who are worthy of your devotion. Bypass your logic and book smarts and follow your instincts. Sniff your way through the situation you're in to find your way. You may find that you have to dig your way out, play dead, roll over, or even bare your teeth. Your natural instinctual gifts, and yes, your sense of smell will see you through. So your intuition will see you through. Oh, yes. And so, if you guys are getting any dreams about dogs or airplanes, then this means this message is in alignment with what's going on for you. Because this dream oracle deck is meant to work with you to decode your dreams. And that could be a message. That could be something for you. So it says dreams of a dog typically symbolize unconditional love, loyalty, fidelity, a best friend, and the wild. Protective nature that marks its territory. Interesting. Be your own best friend. Ooh, I love that. Be your own best friend. Okay. And then airplane. Let's look at that really quick. I feel like I need to read this, and then I'm going to sit with the energy and see if something comes through here. So, airplane. Your dreams are taking flight, and you are awakening the ability to see life from a higher view. This objective perspective makes everything crystal clear. Even challenging circumstances, when seen from a bird's eye view, become simple. As you rise above the ego, you can truly choose to be in the world, but not of it. You are now being presented with an opportunity to soar above the clouds and beyond. So, and then it says, dreams of an airplane represent the desire and ability to experience life from a higher view, to live on a higher plane. Okay, so if the plane in your dream is experiencing turbulence, you may be in the midst of dramatic change, and you are being shown to take time to stabilize your energy. If it's on the ground, you're being guided to have patience as you prepare for your next journey. Spread your wings and fly. I like this too, this mantra. I am supported as I fly to the heights of my fullest potential, coupled with be your own best friend. Like, you're supported by yourself and the strength of your Queen of Swords energy and your internal King of Cups energy. Like, don't forget that no matter what happens, no matter how turbulent it gets, you always can rely on you. I had a yoga teacher, and maybe she's going to watch this. In yoga class, she would say, have your own back. You, like, know the feeling of having your own back. We would go into kind of like this, like, egg position, and we would kind of like hold ourselves and like know the feeling of having your own back. Like, there's nobody in this world that can love you better than the way you can love you. Like, just period. Okay? Like, there is infinite love that you pour into yourself. Oh, and my screen is just and our way to that can be through many different ways. And for me, sometimes it's through spirit, and it's through meditation and accessing my higher consciousness and feeling into the feeling of unconditional love. You know, I think I'm sure if you were drawn to this channel, we have a lot in common. We can mirror each other in a lot of different ways. And I wouldn't be surprised if you've gone through just hell in your life. Like, if you've just gone through the ringer with healing and attending to emotional wounds and building a life for yourself that was not easy to get to. And I think this is a reminder for everyone, including myself, that there's nobody that can pour love into me. And so take this for you. There's nobody that can pour love into you more than you can for yourself. And being your own best friend and having your own back. That's what she would say. She would say, have your own back. And I think that's the message, you guys. So this is like really short and sweet, but I'm thinking that's the message. Have your own back. Stand up for yourself. Speak up for yourself. Yeah, shit's crazy. It's always going to be crazy. So be you right now and do what you need to do right now so that you have no regrets. Okay? All right. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love you so much. Bye-bye.